Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, local resort prepares for annual children's summer camp. National Garifuna Council condemns the killing of Dangriga resident John Rodriguez. And former Deputy Prime Minister calls out Guatemala for aggressive behavior towards Belize. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into any one of our central TV and internet offices to get free installation, free modems, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque, or give us a call toll-free at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
Would you like to know more about the flora and fauna of Belize? Do you enjoy gardening and need some tips? Then tune in to The Garden Show with Belize Botanic Gardens every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, only on the National Channel.
Here now is the news in details. There is a new Deputy Prime Minister of Belize. On Tuesday at Belize House in Belmopan, Minister of Education Patrick Faber was sworn in as a new Deputy PM, replacing Gaspar Vega, who is retiring from electoral politics. According to a brief government press release, Deputy Prime Minister Faber, who was recently elected as the first deputy leader of the governing United Democratic Party, pledged his support to the Prime Minister and other leaders of the nation in continuing the work of developing Belize. Deputy Prime Minister Faber took the oath of office from Governor General Sir Colville Young with his family and friends in the audience to witness the occasion. Former Deputy Prime Minister Gaspar Vega this past weekend placed Guatemala on full blast at a sub-regional meeting in Cuba. Vega used the forum of the 7th Summit of the Association of Caribbean States, which was held in Havana, Cuba, to call on our regional allies to note Guatemala's recent aggression towards Belize. Vega, in his address, noted that as the nations met as a family, desirous of living in peace and harmony, Guatemala's aggression towards Belize represented a troubling shift in foreign policy that poses a grave threat to the preservation of our peaceful coexistence, and it is a threat to the stability in our hemisphere. Vega went on to document for the Association of Caribbean States how Guatemala was using its military to prevent Belizeans, including the military, from unimpeded access to the Sarstoon, the mid-channel of which constitutes the southern boundary of Belize. The new posture by Guatemala, according to Vega, constitutes a clear and existential threat to our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Belize is therefore calling on members of the association to join with the countries of the ACP and the Commonwealth in urging both parties to fully abide by their agreement on the framework of negotiations and confidence-building measures of 2005, which commits both countries to refrain from the threat or use of force and lays out a verification process to address border incidents, to encourage the leaders of both countries to de-escalate the ongoing high levels of tensions and to return focus to building bilateral confidence, to establish confidence-building measures for the Sarstoon River that forms the southern boundary of Belize, and to hold the required national referenda to submit Guatemala's claim to the International Court of Justice for a final resolution in accordance with the special agreement in 2008 between both parties. The National Garifuna Council has issued a statement condemning the senseless killing of John J. Rodriguez. Rodriguez was fatally wounded in a shooting incident at a gaming shop on Havana Street in Dangriga Town on Friday night. The NGC statement says that this cowardly act of taking innocent lives has brought discontent to all residents, Therefore, it should not be tolerated in our peaceful and beautiful Garifuna communities nor other communities. The council says it is appalled with the numerous murders and lack of convictions in our communities. Hence, residents are urged to work with the police by sharing information to assist with accurate details for ongoing investigations. The National Garifuna Council is also appealing to the heartless perpetrators to put down the guns and make better choices in their lives. John J. Rodriguez Jr. will be laid to rest on Saturday morning following funeral services in Hopkins Village in the Stan Creek District. Members of the Special Branch Tactical Response Squad of the Belize Police Department carried out operations on Tuesday in San Ignacio and Santa Elena. The team's first stop was on the banks of the Macal River in Santa Elena around 8:30 yesterday morning, where officers found a white bucket in some tall grass with just over 2 pounds of marijuana inside. Later in the day, the same team searched an open lot in the Oscar Sabido layout area of San Ignacio town, where they discovered a bag with 10.6 pounds of cannabis. In another abandoned lot in San Ignacio, police found another bag, this time with 2 pounds of marijuana. No one was in the areas where the drugs were found, and police have deposited the marijuana as found property. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of My TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. A local Houston, Texas television station reported on Tuesday that there was a fatal road traffic accident. One person was killed and another was critically injured. Here is how the news broke on Tuesday morning on a local ABC-affiliated television station.
And we are following more breaking news about a deadly accident that just happened in northwest Harris County. At least one person is dead after a collision involving at least 2 vehicles. Video from Sky Eye showing both vehicles were heavily damaged. Officials do not know if the person who was killed was a pedestrian or someone in one of those vehicles, but this clearly showing the damage to those vehicles.
TNC News has confirmed that the Belizeans involved in the fatal crash are Corozal resident Sostenes Tamay, who died, entertainer Lennox Young, also known as DJ Tambran, and Esperanza resident Amin August. Best information is that Lennox Young was driving back to Belize and made a stop at an auto parts shop in Harris County, Houston, and that was when the crash happened. 6 years after a double murder in Belize City, a man was convicted and jailed for life. Justice Adolph Lucas, who heard the case without a jury, convicted 44-year-old Irvin Renault of the November 2010 murder of 39-year-old David Longsworth and 42-year-old Edgar Ayala. Longsworth and Ayala were fatally wounded in a shooting incident on the compound of a gas station at mile 1.5 on the Philip Golson Highway. In handing down the sentence, Justice Lucas imposed 2 life sentences on Renault, stipulating that they are to run concurrently. 3 weeks from now, classes will be finished for the 2015-2016 academic year. That means that thousands of elementary school-aged children will be at home, some with nothing to do. But the lodge at Char Creek is hoping to change all that. They are preparing for the annual Echo Kids Summer Camp. Coordinator of the event, Jared Bradley, told TNC News about the upcoming camp.
The Eco Kids Summer Camp this year is starting July 17th and it runs all the way to the 24th of July.
Who gets to take part in the camp?
Well, we open the camp, the entries to primary school students ages 9 to 12. Well, it doesn't have to be students. Children 9 to 12, you know, anyone who wants to enter that age range is welcome to send an essay and join for a spot.
Now, what does this essay have to be about?
The essay is a 300-word essay that should contain or answer the question, I should say, why I want to be an eco-kid. So it aims more for the children to answer what eco and being an eco-kid means to them, and we would like them to answer it in an essay format. You know.
Now, when they send that essay to you, is there a deadline, and when do you get back to them to let them know that they've been chosen?
Well, our deadline this year is Monday, the 13th of June, and we would like to choose the essays, our winners, on the 15th, which would be the Wednesday right after that. Once we choose our winners, we use the contact information they provide within the essay or via the schools to notify our winners.
When the children arrive here on site at Char Creek, what happens?
Well, on Sunday, the day that we would pick them up, we send a bus out to Belmopan and Belize City, and that picks up all the children coming from the north, the south, and everyone. We bring them back here. And on the bus ride itself, you know, there's introductions and a little introductory activity to break the ice. And when they get here at their first night, there's a big icebreaker. And then they spend their first night to wake up Monday morning for bird watching and activities early at 6.
Who would you like to be a part of this year's Echo Kids Summer Camp?
Well, all children from Belize, really. We like to get a wide array, you know, ranging from the northernmost village in Corozal down to the furthest south, because while it's named the Eco Kids Camp, it's really an eco culture camp. You know, we like kids to experience not only nature, but people and the people they share our little country with, and learn about each other, each other's way of life, and just how different everything is for everyone here.
This is the 7th year that you're doing this. Does it get easier, or is it more of a challenge as you go along?
Oh, I don't know if it ever gets easier, but it's always a lot of fun, and it's always so amazing to see the reaction that these children have to the camp, nature, all the activities and everything that they get to do here. And we always get children trying to apply years later as counselors and everything, just you know, singing praises of the camp. They loved it.
What does it mean to Char Creek having this Eco Kids Summer Camp?
Well, the Eco Kids Summer Camp to us really is an opportunity for children to learn more about nature and learn more about Belize and learn more about each other. So it's imperative to us, because we are an eco lodge, to educate the new generation about, you know, what it is we really have in Belize. You know, show them that we really are lucky to live where we do and to have all the natural resources that we have here, and each other as well, of course.
During the course of the camp, for that 1 week that they're here, what are they taught?
They're taught a very many things, actually, a very wide array of things, I should say. Each day is themed behind a different topic concerning conservation, wildlife, so on and so forth. Like we have one day that would be about the 3 R's, you know, which would be reduce, reuse, recycle. And the children do arts and crafts, and they have lessons, well, not really lessons, but activities that teach them the importance of reducing, reusing, and recycling. And we teach them how to make useful things and crafts out of recycled goods.
Do you expect that when they leave Char Creek at the end of the camp, that they will go back and apply what they've learned here?
Yes, we would hope so, actually, that it's an experience that changes them for the better, that makes them want to be more ecologically conscious and want to be more conservative, not conservative, but want to conserve nature more, you know, to increase the longevity of what we have here in Belize.
If you have not yet submitted your essay explaining why you want to be an Echo Camp participant, you can still do so via email at social@charcreek.com. On our previous newscast, we told you about British soldiers using the jungles of Belize for their training ground. Tonight, in part 2 of the series, we take a look at the actual training on the ground as reported by the British military media.
Training in Belize is a rare and sought-after experience. And for nearly a month, A Company from the 2nd Battalion, the Princess of Wales's Royal Regiment, will be making the most of what's on offer. Heading out to the jungle, it's nothing like anything they've ever done before.
Something totally different. It's something the whole company has rallied around. No one's done it before, so everyone's really excited for it, basically. We had our RSY phase at the start, where we gave the guys their basic lessons. They've never operated in the jungle before, most of them, so they had all their basic lessons, how to put a hammock up, and how to administrate themselves in the jungle. We then moved into the platoon phases, which rotates between tactics, survival, and live fire. And then we're going to finish up with a 4-day company FTX. So yeah, the training area is quite large. It's probably 15 by 15k, and we've got a variety of landscapes. We've got the savannah that we're in now, which is more like scrubland with lots of low bushes and small trees. And then towards the back of the training area is secondary jungle, very thick, very challenging to move through, but probably a bit more what the blokes were expecting. So we've tried to cram as much of the training into that jungle area as possible. And we've got some operations out in the savannah as well.
2PWRR, or the Tigers as they're known, have had to juggle a number of commitments to be here. In November 2014, they took on a year-long role as the regional standby battalion based in Cyprus. They've been at short notice to move, carrying out training in Iraq with the Peshmerga and security for Operation Shader at Area Fakratiri. The battalion's other rifle companies are taking it in turns to go on exercise in the Falklands and the Middle East. A Company were given the chance to train here to test their ability to adapt and operate in a remote location.
Last night we slept on the floor for the first time. Didn't get bitten by anything, fingers crossed, but normally within hammocks. Other than that, yeah, it's been alright. Yeah, we've had a hard couple of days so far, but no, it's going alright, it's going alright now. For example, today we got like a CTR lesson, it's like close target reconnaissance, and then that's going to lead on to a platoon attack and all sorts of other stuff like that. But then the last 2 days have been pretty tough, but it's been alright, it's been good.
Normally we just carry like day sacks and webbing, and then now we've got all of our kit at once, so it's quite a lot to carry all at once. Keeps you on the toes, isn't it, the hot weather, and you've got to look after the blokes and make sure they're always taking on water and stuff. But yeah, I'm having a good time so far.
Each soldier has to carry everything they need with them on this exercise. That's at least 40 kilos of kit. Every few days they get to resupply. 3 platoon are going through the tactics phase of this exercise, stopping briefly for training lessons in between attacks. In the jungle classroom, they're learning reconnaissance skills. Operating here requires a whole new approach.
Shouting doesn't work very well because of all the noise, so you've got to try and use hand signals. The radios don't work very well inside the thick foliage as well. So it's quite a command and control challenge, trying to get your message across to all of the section commanders at any one time. But there's drills you follow that mitigate that, which is what we're learning and practicing out here.
Yeah, point to where you can observe the enemy.
Tactically, they're being pushed to the limit. Launching section attacks, learning how to advance on the enemy and navigate across the training area.
The jungle poses many different challenges for the soldiers. Not only do they have to navigate their way through some very dense jungle, they've also got to deal with river crossings like this one.
Up to their chests in water, there have been known to be crocodiles in this river, but here it's deemed safe enough to cross. With a raft of Bergens, they've got to get to the other side carefully and be ready to react as soon as they reach the bank. Out of the water, there are dangerous snakes here, like the notorious fer de lance, not to mention spiders and scorpions most would rather avoid. It's a new environment for everyone, with one exception. For one soldier, coming to Belize is actually coming home.
It's truly a privilege. I'm so happy, not only because my family is here as well, and to train in my own country is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity in my career that I think I'll ever see. So I enjoy it a lot. It's hard graft, but I'm getting through it.
Have you managed to see your family since you've been over here, even if you've been quite busy?
Yeah, I've been very busy, and I see my family quite some time, as well as they had a nice warm meal for me when I got in. So I'm pretty happy with that, yeah.
The British Army Training Support Unit Belize continues to maintain a presence in the country. This is the news on the national channel. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at the weather. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Rain. I'd like to tell you about the biggest thing that hit the local real estate market, the Belize Real Estate Show. Whether you are a real estate agent or property owner looking to rent or sell your property, the Belize Real Estate Show can help. We offer high-quality production with stunning slideshows, voiceovers, cinematic videos, and even an extended walkthrough hosted by yours truly. Call the number on your screen and allow all our viewers to dream of renting or owning your property. Who said that deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions? Walk into any one of our central TV and internet offices to get free installation, free modems, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque, or give us a call toll-free at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
The weather remains moist and unstable over Belize. Here is the forecast heading into Thursday. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Francisca Wellington at the Belize Weather Bureau. To summarize the news, here are the main points again. Local resort prepares for annual children's summer camp. National Garifuna Council condemns the killing of Dangriga resident John Rodriguez. And former Deputy Prime Minister calls out Guatemala for aggressive behavior towards Belize. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.